Memes are supposed to spark fun and interest, but this meme actually broke international borders. A single badly photoshopped image of J.D. Vance without hair just cost America $50 billion in tourism revenue. What I'm about to reveal will make you question everything you thought you knew about border security in the digital age. Remember when America was the land of opportunity, not interrogation rooms? Those days are dead, murdered by policies that treat memes like WMDS and TikTok videos like terrorist manifestos. We've officially entered the twilight zone where hamsters become evidence of human trafficking and political jokes get you strip-searched by federal agents who apparently failed comedy appreciation class. Meet Mads Mikkelsen. And no, not the Danish actor. This 21-year-old Norwegian tourist landed at Newark Airport with valid papers, return ticket, the whole legitimate traveler package. 5 hours later, he's facing a $5,000 fine and threats of federal prison. His devastating crime against American security? A meme showing J.D. Vance as a bald politician. Border agents literally classified this as extremist propaganda, because apparently our customs officials double as comedy critics now. Think that's where sanity kicks in? Think again. When CBP denied the story on social media, they accidentally triggered the Streisand effect on steroids. The internet did what it does best, turned their attempted cover-up into a nuclear explosion of mockery. Norway's largest newspaper ran, "American border agents fear bald politicians," as their front-page headline. 50 million people learned that America's border security operates like a paranoid teenager with trust issues. But Mikkelsen's ordeal was just the appetizer in this feast of governmental stupidity. Hassan, an American citizen with global entry status and 2.8 million Twitch followers, got detained at Chicago O'Hare for 2 hours while agents interrogated him about his political views. They scrolled through his phone asking, "Do you like Donald Trump?" and "Do you support Hamas?" Because apparently, streaming gameplay commentary makes you a potential national security threat. Hassan live-streamed the aftermath to millions of viewers who watched American border agents treat their own citizen like a terrorist suspect. When DHS accused him of fabricating the story for social media clout, the damage was already spreading faster than wildfire in California drought season. Every view represented another person adding "Avoid America" to their travel plans. Here's where things get absolutely unhinged. Ziming Wang, a 23-year-old college student, decided to film TikTok content near the Mexico border. The Border Patrol asked him to help translate for Chinese migrants, which he did. He helped 3 women find shelter. Basic human decency, right? Wrong. Next thing he knows, he's arrested for human smuggling and thrown into detention for 30 days, 10 of which were in solitary confinement. The prosecutor's smoking gun evidence of his international trafficking operation? 3 pet hamsters and a girlfriend. I kid you not. Federal agents presented hamsters as proof of criminal conspiracy. The judge literally asked prosecutors if they'd ever heard of human traffickers traveling with tiny rodents. Even the judicial system couldn't keep a straight face at this theatrical masterpiece of incompetence. These aren't isolated incidents of overzealous agents having bad days. This is systematic policy, turning border security into psychological warfare against anyone with a passport and functioning sense of humor. Germany updated their travel warning for the 3rd time this year, and their language sounds like they're describing a failed state. Neither ESTA approval nor U.S. visa guarantees entry. Final decisions rest with individual border officers. This means your paperwork means absolutely nothing. Some random guy at JFK Airport holds your vacation hostage based on whether he likes your Instagram feed. Britain went nuclear with warnings about arbitrary arrest and detention for undefined rule violations. When your closest allies start treating visits to your country like extreme sports, you've officially become the global equivalent of that toxic friend everyone avoids. Canada's travel advisories now read like survival guides for entering a hostile nation. They warn citizens that border agents can demand passwords without reason, expect device searches, and understand that refusal means immediate 5-year entry bans. America's closest ally is literally teaching their citizens how to survive American customs, like it's a war zone. If you think this madness ends here, you're wrong. Hit that subscribe button because what's coming next will make these stories look like child's play. Airlines heard these warnings and responded with mass evacuation strategies. Play Airlines just announced complete U.S. withdrawal by October 2025. Every American route getting the death sentence. Stewart, Boston, Baltimore, all abandoned like contaminated territories. Their CEO's diplomatic explanation: the North American market proved less successful than anticipated. Corporates speak for, our passengers are terrified of your psychotic border agents. Lufthansa Group started redirecting their flagship A380 Super Jumbos from U.S. routes to Asia. When Germans abandon American markets for literally anywhere else, that's not market adjustment. That's a declaration that America has become bad for business. Air Canada cut 5 routes, WestJet saw bookings crater 40%, and Porter Airlines paused U.S. expansion plans indefinitely. The numbers behind this exodus paint a picture darker than a horror movie sequel. International hotel bookings collapsed 61% in June alone. Canadian bookings specifically crashed 52%. Business travel, the lifeblood of major cities, fell 40% because apparently conducting business in America now requires psychological preparation for potential detention. But here's the statistic that should terrify every economist and politician with functioning brain cells. America now hemorrhages $50 billion annually in travel trade deficit. We've transformed from a nation that earned billions from eager foreign tourists into a country bleeding money as Americans vacation abroad while the world builds walls around us, metaphorical ones made of travel warnings and canceled flight routes. New York City just admitted losing 3.1 million visitors and $4 billion in direct spending. Mayor Adams tried spinning this catastrophe as temporary adjustment, but hotel industry executives use more accurate terminology: catastrophic collapse. International visitors spend 3 times more than domestic tourists, so when they vanish, entire urban economies implode like controlled demolitions. Las Vegas, the entertainment capital built on excess and indulgence, watched Canadian visitors drop 55% and hotel occupancy plummet to levels not seen since economic recessions. Harry Reid International Airport saw international traffic crater 19.6% in a single month. The city that never sleeps now performs for empty seats because tourists apparently prefer destinations where border agents understand that entertainment and extremism aren't synonyms. Behind every devastating percentage lurk human consequences that policies never calculate. 230,000 Americans now face unemployment because their jobs depended on international tourism. Hotels terminated 50,000 workers, restaurants eliminated 45,000 positions, and entertainment venues cut 25,000 jobs. Each pink slip represents families whose financial security got vaporized by policies confusing paranoia with protection. Social media transformed these individual horror stories into global entertainment that America definitely didn't want starring roles in. Travel influencers, people whose entire careers involve promoting destinations, actively warn followers against U.S. travel. Visit Canada instead trends monthly, Skip USA, hashtags proliferate, and Reddit threads about American border nightmares hit front pages daily. When professionals paid to encourage tourism won't touch your country, you've transcended crisis and entered catastrophe territory. Each viral detention story creates exponential damage. One detained tourist influences hundreds directly. Their story reaches thousands online. Media coverage amplifies to millions, and government warnings institutionalize the fear globally. The Trump administration's response to this self-inflicted tourism apocalypse? Presidential Proclamation 10,949, doubling down with bans on 19 countries and watch lists targeting 36 more. The 2017 travel ban affected 7 countries. This expansion targets entire continents because apparently the solution to driving away tourists is threatening even more potential visitors. They added mandatory social media screening for student visas, forcing applicants to make accounts public or face automatic rejection. AI systems now scan for derogatory information, including political activism, because apparently having opinions about governance disqualifies you from educational opportunities. Over 300 students from Harvard, MIT, and Stanford already had visas revoked for Instagram posts, Twitter likes, and the revolutionary crime of existing online with viewpoints. Recovery from this reputation destruction requires mathematical miracles. Building tourist infrastructure takes decades. Airlines establishing routes, hotels training multilingual staff, cities creating international districts. America destroyed all of it in months, but rebuilding requires years of consistent welcoming behavior that current political trajectories suggest won't happen anytime soon. Meanwhile, competitor nations feast on America's self-inflicted wounds like vultures at an economic carcass buffet. Canada's Tourism Board runs comparison advertisements highlighting hassle-free entry procedures. Mexico grants visa-free access to 40 additional countries. European capitals compete aggressively for fleeing conventions, and Asian educational hubs court rejected students with open arms and functioning sanity. Every American restriction becomes another nation's golden opportunity to capture market share that America voluntarily abandoned. The 2026 World Cup and 2028 LA Olympics approach ominously, events requiring millions of international visitors planned when America still welcomed the world. The Norwegian tourist with his Vance meme? He's vacationing in Japan now, posting photos of respectful border agents and efficient entry procedures to thousands of followers. Each post steers potential American visitors toward destinations that treat guests like humans rather than suspects. What's your take on this tourism apocalypse? Drop your thoughts below and smash that subscribe button if this opens your eyes to America's border insanity.